Welcome to Learn to RV, the podcast. I'm Tasha, and today for our community spotlight, I have Candice Cameron here with us, not from Full House. Don't get excited, but it is a much cooler Candice Cameron. I think so
Why, thank
anyway.
you. Thank you.
Candice, welcome to the show.
Thank you
Tell
so
us a
much.
little bit about yourself.
I'm personally 35 and I have been traveling in my RV for I'm coming up on 7 years now.
That's
My
incredible.
profession allows me to travel nationwide, and I got this idea from other travelers that do the RV life and fell in love with the idea and dove headfirst into everything and haven't looked back since.
That is so cool. So you're 35 and you've been doing it for 7 years. So
Yes.
you were,
Yep.
let me do mental math, and I am not a math person. So you were 27, 28, 28, right?
Yep, 29, because I bought the RV at the end of 2019, and so I was 29.
So
Yeah.
have you been in the same RV the whole time?
Yes.
Can I ask what kind of RV you're driving?
Yeah. I have a 2008 Winnebago Chalet. He is 31 feet long, and we're Class C. And I lucked out. It was actually my mother who found the listing. It was through Camping World up in New Hampshire. I was on an assignment in where was I? I was in Connecticut. Drove up for the weekend. He had a great floor plan, 2 owners, low miles. I only bought
Wow.
him with 26,000 miles.
Wow.
And it wasn't a smoker. I didn't smell dogs. And I pretty much was like, I test drove it. Test drive didn't go quite as well as the dealership hoped for. We went down a hill and was around the circle, and I smelt burning rubber, burning metal.
Oh,
And he
no.
had me pull over, and the front brakes had seized up because he had been sitting on the lot for so long. Yes.
Oh,
Yep. So we quickly pulled over, saw that they were flaming red. And he was like, crap, I'm so sorry. I gotta call my manager. I was like, oh my God, please don't catch fire because I really like this RV. But we'd gotten through that, and he's like, I will be getting you brand new brakes. I'm like, yes, you will. We went home after that. I had sat on, took pictures, took videos, sat on it for a week, and I was like, I think this is the one. And I put a deposit down, and it was the next weekend. I went down, did a full walkthrough, signed papers, and it was the brakes, and then the backup camera needed to be fixed. And so it was a week after that. I drove him off the lot.
Candice, that's
Yep.
so stinking cool. Okay, so I have so many questions. Are you ready? I'm
Yes.
not going to rapid
Okay.
fire them at you, but I have
Let's go
so
for
many
it.
questions. Okay, so first off, I feel like I need to start with what maybe the biggest question is, what do you do that allows you to the freedom to kind of go work where you want to work?
Yes. So I am a certified surgical technologist and first assist. So
That is
I
cool.
pretty much sum up my job of, if you've seen any medical show, I'm the person who hands the surgeon the scalpel. Um,
Oh,
yes. So there's more to it. I help get the room situated, make sure we have all the sterile supplies and instruments, and I help with the patient. And then during surgery, I will help the surgeon in kind of any way that they need. And then as a first assist, I can go a step further. I can help close the incisions. And so it's a very in-depth, behind the scenes job, but I love it. I do get to help people. I'm not as memorable and notable as a nurse, but the nurses and surgeon could not do surgery without me. And
no,
so
that's a really important job.
yeah, and so my certificate is nationwide. And so I get
That's
to go to
awesome.
all 50 states. And how I do the traveling is very similar to a traveling nurse. I am hired through a company and they contract me out. I go to a hospital that say somebody went on maternity leave or had surgery and they're just out for 3, 6 months. The hospital doesn't want to hire somebody, so they get a traveler.
Mhm.
And their standard is 3 months. And if you want to stay and the hospital still needs the need, then you can stay a little bit longer. Personally, I like the travel aspect. I like to go to a place, experience it, spend the 3 months, and then move on to the next. And so I have been to 21 states. I have
That was my
worked
next
at
question.
Yeah, I've worked at 30 different hospitals.
Wow.
I don't count the states that I've traveled through. It's only the states that I've worked.
Mhm.
But it's been fun. I've been able to see the country, see places that I would have never even thought of. Like most notable was Utah. There was an assignment there, and I was like, well, okay, let's go see what's in Utah. And for me, I don't know anybody. I kind of research the town and
Mhm.
I'm pretty independent. I can like to go out and explore, do camping trips. And so that has allowed my job has allowed me to do what I do, both
Yeah.
in the medical field and as traveling. I kind of joke of I love the RV life with traveling for my profession because it's my bed, it's my sheets, it's my environment. I'm not at the mercy of trying to find an apartment and put
Yeah.
first and last month. And before I'd gotten the RV, I did a couple travel assignments and I kind of had some sketchy housing.
Oh.
So to make my life and my pets' lives a little bit easier of having my own space has been great.
So you travel with pets.
I do.
Who
I
what
have 2 cats
Okay.
and then I have an exotic. I travel with a snake as well. So it's
So
a
how
weird mix of
that's like I don't
yes.
know. I have a cat, but my cat is 17 years old, and I think if I added a
Wow.
snake to the mix, the cat would, like, make sure the snake knew who was boss
Who's
by the time
boss?
I got
Yep.
home.
Yep.
So I have to know who rules the camper of the 3, and then how long you've had each of them. Did you have them, like, before you hit the road, or did you get them after you set out?
Yes. So, my oldest cat, she definitely rules the roost. I got her, she's 12 now. So I got her before traveling, but she, with her, I was actually able to kind of train her. She's leash trained, so she goes on walks. She got comfortable with the car.
You're
Yep.
one of those great people. The people that I see
I
out walking,
am.
I'm
I
like,
am one
"How
of
do
those
you do
people.
that?"
Yes.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh. You're gonna have to teach me all
Yep.
your tricks. If I tried to put Edward on a leash, I
Yes.
swear he would not go. He would just
Yep.
sit and stare at me and be like,
And just flop
where
over.
do you think we're
Yep.
going? Like, this is not happening
Yep.
today." I'm
Yes.
so
Yep.
impressed.
Yes. I lucked out with her. She pretty much was like once we got the leash and the harness all trained and I opened up that front door, the apartment outside and she knew what it meant. She's like, "Okay, I've got this."
That's awesome.
My boy, on the other hand, I got him as a kitten, so he's no issues with the harness, but he is a homebody. He doesn't really like to walk around. I made a system of where I've got a run that I've got coated cables that are anchored to each side of my awning arm,
Oh,
and
that's
I
cool.
clip their retractable leash on the cable with a
Mhm.
carabiner, and they can just roam with me sitting outside in that area. And he'll go out, find a patch of grass, and that's it. He's shown no
He's
interest
like,
in
"I'm done."
walking. Yeah, he likes the backpack. I feel like he feels okay with the backpack, but walking didn't really like. And Then the snake was the last. I got him while on assignment in South Carolina. My girl, I don't even think she knows it's in here. She's just oblivious, doesn't care. My boy, he was curious at first, but then now he's like, okay, you're part of the family. You don't move that
What kind of
much.
a
You're not that
snake?
entertaining. It's a ball python.
Holy moly,
Yeah.
you did not go small.
So, well, okay. So the ball pythons, he is about 4.5 feet long. So he's not
That's
gonna get any bigger. The fattest part, what is that? Maybe tennis ball.
that's less than a foot shorter than my 21-year-old child.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Foot and like a few inches shorter than me. Yeah. But they're ball pythons are so chill. They just kind of sit there. He's definitely more nocturnal. I've been able to take him outside in the southern states while it's warm. But
Uh-huh.
he's just like along for the ride.
Do you have to have special equipment or anything inside your RV to keep him warm, like any lights or anything like that?
Yes. Yep. He's in a tank, a vivarium
Uh-huh.
that there's a light source, a heat, and two types of heat source, and then a light that mimics the sun. And since they're tropical, he likes high humidity. So he's got a mister, and it's the size of the tank is 4 feet by 2 feet by 18 inches. I wanted to go a little bit bigger because they say 4 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet is the
Uh-huh.
standard,
Uh-huh.
but you're kind of limited on space in an RV.
Right.
So I had to only go 18 inches, but it's been fun. He's been really cool. I've always loved snakes. As a kid in high school, I
Yeah,
volunteered at a wildlife refuge center,
that
and
is cool.
they had permanent resident snakes. It was two corn snakes and a California king. I
Oh, wow.
fell in love with the California king, and of course, his name was Elvis. And he was just the chillest dude. I mean, you would just take him out of his enclosure, and he would just sit on your shoulders while you're doing paperwork or just chilling.
That is so
So
cool.
I learned a lot from there, kind of fell in love, and I had always wanted a snake. And it just so happens I was on assignment, and in town there was a exotic show, and the old saying of, "Oh, I'm just going to look. I'm just going to look. Just want some,
Uh-huh.
get some
Uh-huh.
research, get a basis, and then you come home with one."
Uh-huh. You've been traveling. You are in this Class C with your 3
Yep.
pets. You've gone to 21
Yep.
states. Was Utah your favorite stop? Is that, like, the best place that you think you've been? Or was that the best, like, workplace that you've been?
Utah, unfortunately, wasn't the best workplace, but Utah definitely was in my top three. I really loved Denver, Colorado. That was super fun. Did
Denver's
that in
awesome.
the summer, so that was even better.
Mhm. Yep.
And then the other was Washington.
Yeah.
I fell in love with Washington State. I kind of was a little biased because that's where I was born, but my family and I left Washington when I was 6. So I hadn't been back maybe when I was a teenager to visit family, but that was
Uh-huh.
it. And I spent a little over a year in the Pacific Northwest. So I did Washington
Oh,
and Oregon. Yeah,
we have been
I fell
trying
in
to get
love.
up there.
Yes.
I went up to the Pacific Northwest for work before we hit the road, and it was just a
Yep.
trip. I mean, I had been up there when I was a kid on a vacation, but I keep telling my family, like, "Yeah, we're gonna get up there," and we have still
Oh yeah.
not made it there, and so my son
Ah,
is 18, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't think you're ever gonna take us to, like, we're never gonna
no.
get to the Pacific Northwest." And I'm like, "No, I promise." The furthest that we've
Yep, we'll do
gotten
it. We're gonna
is,
do it.
yeah, we were in California, we got up into, like, wine country north of San
Yep.
Francisco, and then we ran out of time, and we had to start heading east
Heading
because
back.
we had rallies that we had to get to. But I keep telling him we're gonna wrap back around. That's what we were
Yes.
supposed to do
Yep.
this last year, and then we hugged a tree with our RV, and it was a whole thing, and we had to have repairs, and our entire trip got derailed,
Yeah.
but so I'm very jealous that you got to spend, like, a good chunk of time up there.
Yeah.
That whole area is just
Yeah.
gorgeous.
It is.
So this next year, I mean, we're at the beginning of the year. How far out do you plan with your work? Because I know that, you were saying that the hospitals like to have about a 3-month contract. Do they book those
Mhm.
out far in advance? Are you like booked for the year
Um,
or how far do you know?
no, I will I'll start looking for a next assignment about a month out.
Okay.
I do kind of a general idea of my route that I want to do for the year.
Uh-huh.
I chase the sun.
Yep.
So I try and go north for summer, south for winter. Even though I've gone south, I have always seemed to have freezing weather and or snow. So that really hasn't quite worked out, but I kind of will get an idea in between each assignment. I take a week off. It just kind of allows me to get there. I will try and just do like maybe a state or two away. And when I first started out, I was trying to go like 8 hours driving in a day. And I was just like, ugh, forget this. I'll drive 4 or 5 hours, go to a harvest host for the night, chill, relax, get up bright and early, um,
Yeah.
enjoy the drive. And so I kind of have a rough idea of in what region I want to be at what time.
Mhm.
So and then I'm not picky in where I go. I'll just say a month till I end the contract. I'm like, okay, we're looking. I'm going to go east. And let's say, I'm currently in Florida. I'll look maybe Carolinas, Virginia, see what's out there. My recruiter will send an email to me with all their job postings. I'll do the research of the town, make sure that there is actually a campground. Um,
It's very important.
and I have to, yes, very important. And then I have to make sure that I am the campground's within 30 minutes of the hospital
Mhm.
because we do take call. And so there is a time restriction of about 30
Having
minutes
to
from
be
when you
there.
get,
Yeah.
yeah, you get called in, then you got to get clocked in. I've only had to shy away from bigger cities just because they don't have a campground downtown
Yeah.
Boston, downtown Denver. So it kind of limits there. But other than that, I've done big cities, I've done tiny little towns, and it's always been fun.
Do you have like we have 1,000 Trail membership and we kind of use those to get campsite to campsite. Do you have memberships like that? I know you said you use Harvest Host to kind of get
Yeah.
across places. Do
Yeah.
you use a lot of memberships to help you out that way? Or is it just kind of a whatever is near where you need to go, that's where you're staying?
Yeah. I only have Harvest Host and Good Sam for
Okay.
the most part because I stay at one spot for 3 months. I haven't really been able to. It's like when I started out, I did have KOA. I had KOA membership, but I learned quickly that that's only for nightly, weekly stays. If you go do an extended stay, they won't give you the
You
points.
lose
They won't
that.
give you the discount.
Yeah,
So I've just kind of
that makes
dropped it.
sense.
And for the most part, I've been kind of half and half between chains or just mom and pop campgrounds. And so it's for me, the only membership I keep in accordance to like stays is Harvest
Uh-huh.
Host.
Yeah.
And but I mean that's been fun.
Yeah.
I've gotten to see a lot of farms and picked up some
Yeah.
really good ground beef and some steaks along the way and a couple stopped at a couple breweries, got some lagers and ales and all that fun stuff.
I love that. So
Yeah.
you're going to start moving north, you said, right?
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
you're hitting all of this kind of cooler weather that we're hitting. I was like, this is not what I signed up for when I said, sure,
No,
let's winter in
no.
Florida.
Yeah.
So as you start going north, is there like a part of the country this year that you're like really hoping to get to that you haven't gotten to yet?
I'd like to do a little bit more on the East Coast, New England kind of area,
Hmm.
east of the Mississippi. I have done Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, West Virginia, Georgia, and Florida, and Ohio. And so I've got a lot of other states and to check off the list, and because I have the ambitious goal to say I worked in all 50 states before I retire. I can definitely see the continental 48. Alaska and Hawaii are a little difficult to do in the RV,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
but
But maybe you could
I've
like
so
park it somewhere and take a flight over and hang out
yep,
somewhere for 3 months in Hawaii and
yep,
work and then come back
yep,
and pick up your rig. I mean, I can see that
yep.
happening.
I kind of had a plan of I'd have to first go to Arizona, drop
Mhm.
off all my plants with my grandmother, and probably drop the snake off with her as well. I'd go to up to New Hampshire where my parents are to drop the cats and the RV off, and then I'd probably hit Hawaii
That's
because
a
I
maybe you
yeah,
should drop the cats off first and then go to Arizona and then go from
yeah,
Arizona to Hawaii. Think
yeah, yeah,
that might be a better trip. So you're okay, so I we haven't gotten to this part and I really want to touch on this because I like this
yeah,
has been such a big deal for me. I've been wanting to talk to solo women
yeah.
RVers because I'm supposed to be PG, so I'm not supposed to say the word that I want to say, but you're just you're a rock star. That's the word that I'm going to say. But
Like it.
as as a solo RVer, first of all, like applaud. I have so much applause for you just as a solo RVer,
Yeah,
period. But there's so like I am not a solo RVer, but I park the rig. Like and I can drive the
okay,
rig. And I've
okay,
talked about this on the show before. I will be driving and people will come up and will be like, excuse me, did your husband leave? Do you need me to do that for
oh
you?
yeah,
No, I can park my
oh
rig.
yeah,
We're okay. Like I know how to back into the space.
yep,
So
yep.
I am wondering for you, is that something that you encounter a lot whenever you arrive? And how do you kind of like get people out of your space and get them to
Yep.
what kind of do you think that that's improving at all? Are you seeing an improvement there? And how
Um,
is there a community growing? I guess is my question for solo RVers. And is there
yeah,
a networking that you've seen that way?
yeah, yes. So when I first started, yeah, I had a lot of these people, older gentlemen coming up and offering to back up or just stand at the corner of their lot and think that they're about to mock somebody for not being able to back up 31 feet
Yes.
of RV. I do have to admit, I had gotten the rig end of 2019. Then obviously COVID hit. Me and my father had pretty much went from bumper to bumper, renovated it. And in that time where I had them stored,
Hmm.
I was just down the road from a mall. And since the mall was closed, I had a giant parking lot that I could
That's
practice
awesome.
backing up, checking my mirrors, figuring out that algorithm. And so I was able to luck out. I had practice before I hit the road.
Yeah. Which you should
And
have driving any rig. If you're driving a
yes, yes,
VW Bug, you should go practice before you hit the road.
yes.
Like that's just a given.
Yes. And so that helped kind of with my confidence. And like I said, in the beginning, yeah, I would get a lot of looks, people peeking through the shades and but it definitely has gotten better, and you just kind of have to put your game face on.
Yeah.
I've been able to kind of shock some people of being able to back up and park and first try, and I kind of wait until I get into the rig, and then I kind of jump up and down for joy and giggle because I actually did it on the first try. But it's just kind of, yes, it definitely has gotten better. I have met along the road other females that are doing it by themselves, but there's also the wow factor of
Yeah.
I go to, I go to work and new assignment and people want to know all about you, and I tell them what I do and doing the travel thing, being in the RV, and they're like, how long are you? And I'm like, it's 31 feet bumper to bumper, and then I tow a car behind me, and so that's about another 20 feet and by myself. And they're like, really? Okay, that's really cool, but I don't think I could do that. I couldn't do that. And I was like, yes, you can. You
Yeah.
just have to believe in yourself and have the confidence to just go out and do it. And I've told a lot of people that it's like you can do it. Don't doubt yourself. Just
Yeah.
have a good head, have a calm heart, and if you mess up, you mess up. I mean, yeah, there's been days where you're doing a 20-point turn to try and get in, and you keep going in and out of the truck, and you're trying to put rocks where you're supposed to go, and then you roll over the rock, and it is what it is. But I kind of, I have a family, and that allowed me to figure things out for myself. Like I said, I've been doing this for a while, but I'll be the first one to admit that I still call my dad at every other week. I was like, okay, how do I do this? Okay, what do you think about this? Can I do this? And he's like, no, let's think this through. And my dad, YouTube, and Facebook
So you've got a
have been,
built-in support system.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
So if
yeah.
do you have any tips in regards to like safety or just like, hey, you're going to be a solo RVer. These are the things that you need to know that maybe would be easier if you had another person with you, but you need to take extra precautions because you are the only one who's there.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure that you've got this on hand or you need to make sure that you're ready for this because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. For safety, like I said before, you just kind of have to game face and go with your gut. I have definitely listened to my gut a couple times when traveling from assignment and couldn't find a campground, or you have a tire blowout and you spend 6 hours on the side of the road waiting for a progressive to try and send somebody to fix your tire. And I'm talking from experience, and you
I
just
have that
want to be,
experience.
yeah. So you just want to be done with the day and you go to the closest truck stop, but you get a feeling and you're like, nope, go in, grab some caffeine, pound it, go to the next one. And if you have that gut feeling, listen.
That
I
intuition.
also I also kind of went a step further. I have a security system for the RV.
That's awesome.
I was able to find a company, and the company is called Wise, and they partner with another company to do monitoring. And so each window, each door has a sensor. It allows me temperature sensor, leak detection, which has
That's
saved me
awesome.
a couple times. Yep.
Yeah.
And I always have it set when I go to bed, and other things to have on hand when you're by yourself is a good toolkit. I was able to steal slash borrow some tools from my father before I left, and spare screws, bolts, washers, zip ties, duct tape. You just kind of acquire different things, and having a good toolkit, if a screw breaks or if you need to install something, having that has always been a good comfort. And just kind of, not be ashamed to go look at YouTube. I joined a couple full-timer RV groups and I've posted some questions and they've been pretty good. I've been able to give me answers, but then I've also had to call the mechanic and be like, hey, I need help. Gone through all my resources and I still can't figure it out. And I've luckily been able to get some nice guys, and they've applauded me for trying to figure it out and talking to them, explaining everything. And I always have my phone out. I kind of record what they're doing. So if the other
Happens
side
again,
happens again, then I
Yeah.
can just go back and just kind of having confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
If you feel confident in going out, then you'll enjoy it. My first leaving the comfort of being close to my father and fully going out on my own after fully moving in. Obviously, that was my maiden voyage and I blew a rear internal tire
Ooh,
but yeah.
that's a big one.
And yeah, it was a big one. Yep. Yep. So it's just kind of going with your gut feeling and
Yeah.
not being afraid to get dirty. Trust your intuition.
I love that. Well, Candice, I cannot thank you enough for coming on and sharing your story with us. If you have a story that you want to share with our community, you can reach out to us at connect@learntorv.com. We are also starting a new segment coming soon this season where we're going to start telling some campfire stories. So if you have some of those just crazy, wild stories that you like to share around the campfire about things that have happened to you. I've got a million Martin Mayhem stories that happened to us along the road, but maybe it's not a whole episode worth, but it's just a really good story with a lesson in it. We're going to start doing some episodes with those. So you can email those to us to read on air. Send those at connect@learntorv.com. And subscribe, share with your friends, and we look forward to sitting down at the campfire with you next time. Thanks for joining us.